cinema.
Certainly are. Well, welcome on into this Wednesday's edition of Movie News, folks, here at MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel. Of course, our Twitch stream. I'm one of your co-hosts, Stephen John McLaughlin, and our other co-host, looking like a banana. Very bright, John. I just noticed there.
Just checking my heart rate. I'm yawning a lot. That usually means it's in the 50s.
It's John C. Walsh. How you doing, John?
I'm doing fantastic, Stephen. It's 74.
Yeah.
It's a bit high for me.
You were doing, here we go. Hey, let's have a good time.
Let's get in and get that sorted out right away.
John, I actually missed the show last night. You were very late to the party.
I was very late, yeah.
I was sleeping for 11 o'clock last night, absolutely shattered. But I did watch it obviously earlier on today, and we did some clipping as well. Got more of that coming. But so we're just going to crack on just now with the topic in hand. You can tell from our thumbnail and of course our headline, we're talking about Martin Scorsese and Leo DiCaprio's new movie.
Hello, Pop, incidentally. Apologies.
Reportedly delayed till 2023. John and I have been talking about this movie for the last 2-3 years now.
Yes.
Filming production finished last October. We thought we had a film to look forward to, another Scorsese classic, another DiCaprio classic, and that collaboration between these two men. We've got to wait another year, 2023.
Movies coming out this year,
well,
isn't it?
It'll keep us going, John, but this was one that was obviously on our radar. But according to sources of Deadline, the release of Scorsese's latest directorial venture, Killers of the Flower Moon, has reportedly been delayed. I'll say that again, I kind of slurred my words. Reportedly been delayed to 2023.
It happens.
Although there has been no official announcement made as of yet, there are reportedly ongoing talks between the filmmaker and the studio to showcase the much-awaited title at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival, followed by a wide theatrical release later in the year to recuperate some of the film's gigantic budget. Disappointed, John. That's my initial thoughts. I was really looking forward to this. We know obviously that this film is based on an award-winning book.
It's a New York Times bestseller.
Scorsese and of course DiCaprio's previous films we've very much enjoyed as well, so very much looking forward to this. Stellar cast as well, John, in this film as well.
I'll bring it up shortly.
And I feel very disappointed. You know, I thought
but Pav makes a point in the comments, reportedly is the keyword, not yet confirmed, but see, when you have these sort of publications, they tend to know what they're talking about, so it's probably coming. If
it's coming from, well, we're looking at Screen Rant at the moment, but obviously the reports are coming from
Deadline.
Deadline, so
Deadline know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's not like what's that one that we used to go to, John?
Fucking.
It was one. It was a one notch off of being Mike Zero. It's that kind of.
Yeah, what
level.
Was that called?
Something we
got this covered.
We got this covered or some shit.
We got this covered. Yep.
Yeah.
Shit, there's intro.
So. We get what you're saying, Parv. Yeah, reportedly, so maybe there's still hope. But John, it doesn't look good, does it? I mean, I thought we were by all these delayed stuff, you know, with the pandemic sort of in a rear view mirror at the moment. But it doesn't look that way. Of course, it's nothing to do with the pandemic, these delays. It's more to do with the studio and the director not agreeing a release date.
I mean, Scorsese did this with The Irishman.
Yeah.
He was adamant the movie gets some form of release in a theatre. And I think they ended up agreeing to 2-3 weeks or something, at least in the huge demographic, the areas of Chicago, or was it New York? I can't remember. The big cities in the US, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, places like that, they got a run in the theatres. I think it even released over here in the theatres as well, for a very short stint. And then also it went on to the streaming service to do its thing. In that case, it was Netflix. So Scorsese has previews for this. The guy is a stickler. He wants his movies consumed in the purest form, which is going to a theatre with other sweaty people, farts and all, popcorn and watching it. And look, I can get on board with that because I'm a guy who loves to go to the theatre and watch movies. So I totally understand it's a huge release. It's got a Academy Award winning actor, probably multiple. I don't know if Robert De Niro ever did win an Academy Award. That's not something I've checked in a while anyway.
Yeah.
I may have done before. But certainly Leonardo's in there, Scorsese. You've got big names. If you've got that kind of story in your midst, you want to have it seen. in a wide release in the theatres before it hits the streaming service and gets gobbled up. Because Stephen, this isn't even like Netflix. This is Apple TV Plus. They're still growing. They have an Academy Award winning Best Picture movie in their catalogue at the moment, Coda. They'll be ambitious, want to build upon that and maybe add to the Academy Award winning movies, and then they can then present themselves as a really different, more artsy choice to a Netflix or a Prime. They can say, look, we've got a couple of Academy Award winning movies, come to us for highbrow stuff, which is what they were doing anyway, Stephen. They were setting themselves up as a highbrow streaming service. They acquired exclusivity deals with the likes of Spielberg, J.J. Abrams, off the top of my head, M. Night Shyamalan, I think.
Yeah.
A23, they'd done some sort of deal with them. So they already positioned themselves as a different streaming service to your Netflixes of the world, who are a little bit more lowbrow. So it doesn't surprise me, but having said that, they're still starting up. They've not got the subscriber base of these other streaming services. So
that's that, they're not established.
So Scorsese don't want it to fucking. They don't want the movie seen. The director, the actors, they want it seen. They want a chance. So if it's purely for that, then that's fine, Stephen. I'm not too concerned like yourself. Disappointed if it gets delayed, but not concerned about the movie's content, because this is as close to a guarantee you're going to get in the film industry of an incredible movie. The story's there. Leonardo DiCaprio's come in himself, Stephen, and actually get hands-on with the story and the creative process, and at least with his character. And it's that duo of DiCaprio and Scorsese again, and they're always gold. They will always give you a really, really, really good movie. So you know you're getting gold here.
Yeah, I think as well, John, the actual story, and you touched on it there, is very intriguing. It's the sort of early formation of the FBI. Perhaps we'll see a young, Hoover, isn't it?
Yeah.
That started it up. You know, and it's based on a series of murders, so right away that intrigues me. I like a good investigative mystery. Crime drama, yeah. Very much like Zodiac, something like that, you know. Something that will just pull me in, intrigue me. You know, and the fact that obviously Scorsese's doing it, you know, that's where the pulling power comes from. DiCaprio, De Niro, as you said. Get Lily Gladstone in there.
I'll bring that up just now. I'll actually
let's talk about the cast, John. Yeah,
because the cast is extraordinary. Sadly, the people to the far right have been cut out, but I'll do my best to fill it in. But she said Stephen, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brendan Fraser's in there.
Yeah, Brendan. Yeah,
and
not seen him in years.
I've actually got another image of Brendan in his most recent. Is this it here? Role, and look, Brendan has put weight on.
The film's called The Whale. Wow.
Since 2000, the early 2000s, when he was playing, I can't even remember his name in The Mummy. O'Connell.
Yeah.
Hey, O'Connell.
Yeah.
He's put weight on, but he's not put that much weight on. This is for the role. £400 man. Say A24. Did I say A23 before, by the way? I think I did. Losing the pot. A24 distributor.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see this guy getting back into movies.
Yeah, I love it.
Because we were speaking about him before we came on, Stephen. We're both very big. We admire him. I don't want to go as far as to say we're huge fans.
Well, I would say I've always enjoyed the films I've seen him in. Crash was probably one of the last ones I saw him in. Obviously, it wasn't a starring role because it was a big ensemble.
That was a great movie, man. I remember that.
Yeah, and the story, obviously, intertwining stories. So he wasn't the main focus of the film, but his role in it, although was very small, was very good. And then you look back to the first films I saw him in, California Man, or Encino Man, as it was called in the US, George of the Jungle,
well, yeah.
And as you said, The Mummy. The first two, the first Mummy film was outstanding. So much better than that Tom Cruise one. There's just something really, I don't know, I think it was chemistry between the cast members. It was just fantastic, and him obviously leading it. But
he's had a disappointing career though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He had so much potential. He could have been his generation's Harrison Ford.
Now, John, you talk about Jesse Plemons here now. It's very interesting that this is the second film, I think. It might be the third film, I'm not sure.
He was in The Irishman for sure.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, you know, that if Robert De Niro, I can't talk tonight, Robert De Niro is Scorsese's get to. Interesting. Alan Hansen.
I'm the guy who's been drinking the 8% strength beer tonight again.
I think I'm having a stroke.
I think I've got a fucking problem.
I think it's the farts coming from the canine in the corner. But what I was going to say, if Robert De Niro is Scorsese's go-to man over the past 40 years, and over the last 20 years it's been DiCaprio. I'm wondering if Plemons has been sized up to move into that. Robert De Niro retires. We've then got DiCaprio as the... yeah, what does that say? I'll find a girl for you, John. There you go.
Find a girl. No, not you fucking won't.
Like a girl like you. Anyway.
You won't.
So, Jesse Plemons. What a guy, man.
He is. He's a fantastic
everything I've seen
actor.
him in, he's not always been the lead, but he's always been the standout, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm going to hide the user from the channel as well.
Parv says, doesn't look good to me either. I think it's definitely delayed. Yeah, it looks like it. Brendan Fraser, I almost forgot about him. Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys just in the 1990s was always there, wasn't he? And, by the early 2000s, after, obviously, the Mummy franchise, he did that one, didn't he? The third one. I always forget they did the third one with Jet Li, I think it was.
What was it, the Scorpion King?
The Scorpion King was a spin-off, but I think the cameo was the Scorpion King.
I'm not
in
even
the
going
Mummy
to lie,
2.
Stephen. At the time, I was a young guy and I still enjoyed it. I'm not even going to lie.
Scorpion King was actually okay, John. The one with The Rock. I think that was one of his early films, wasn't it?
It was. That was the story of
it was a curse of the Mummy. So I can't remember. It was terrible. They went out Far East with it anyway, and it was away from Egypt. And obviously, your man,
the samurai sort of fucking things, on mummies. I remember that.
It just wasn't great. And I don't think Rachel Weisz came back for it either. Says it all. The weird thing was
Rachel was a looker, by the way. Speaking about, we often speak about
John.
people from that era, the likes of Natalie Portman and
she
stuff.
was in Black Widow and she looked great.
Back then, though, really.
Yeah.
Top tier. So was Brendan, to be fair. We were looking at images of Brendan, same age as me at that point.
Take that, Pembridge Scholars. I love that accent. I am a librarian.
And you had your man, didn't you, Scottish guy? John Hannah.
John Hannah, yeah.
Yep, he was in there. Bit of an annoyance.
Did I panic? I did not.
No,
I can quote the Mummy.
I mean, the Mummy was fantastic. I loved the first Mummy. I always fucking guy that played the Mummy mixed up with
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. It wasn't Billy Zane.
You googled that, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I couldn't believe it. It was someone else. It was
a South African actor.
I forgot his name again. Yep. No, it wasn't Billy Zane. It was like the whole Daniel Radcliffe, Elijah Wood thing again. Tom Cruise's Mummy was a letdown. Had so much potential. It was the start of this monster universe with Universal. Sophia Boutella was in there, I think. Still, the plane crash sequence was great, although how you get out of it without a fucking scratch. Anyone
what's Tom Cruise doing there?
I mean, Stephen, he survived a plane crash. Did he? I'm pretty sure he didn't have a scratch. Really strange. Yeah, it was a terrible movie. Look, man, I'm glad it happened. It killed the whole Universal.
John Lithgow's there as well,
Universe
John.
Dead, and it deserved to die.
John
Lithgow's in there. You can't see him on the screen, but he's there. And you've got De Niro, as you said, Stephen, lovely Gladstone. And what I really, one of the things I've enjoyed most about the Me Too thing and just representation being expedited in Hollywood in the last 10 years. Yeah, Jack White's in there.
What's that all about, Jack White?
Jack's looking great for his age. I've seen him at Glastonbury recently. He's in good shape. He's got blue hair, strangely. And still as talented as ever. The likes of Noel Gallagher like to have a pop at him. I always liked the White Stripes, and he was the real driving force behind it. He's really inspired by the likes of the Beatles and stuff like that. As a guy that knows music.
John, did you ever see the video clip of Jack White doing the intros, the Beatles intros, and he would get them? I think he only got one wrong.
Yeah, he's like us.
Yeah.
Yep, we do that, but I don't get them wrong. I did the songs with him.
Yeah.
And I get them all.
And we corrected them in the one he got wrong.
Yeah, I corrected him in the one he got wrong. I am fucking
It was a White Album one, wasn't it?
It was Julia. Yeah, it was Julia. I'm like, nope, it's Julia, bitch.
Yeah, because I think it was the outro of the previous song, and it was just sort of fading into Julia, but he jumped the gun and got it.
He knows his shit, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
He does.
Johnny he's a good guy, yeah.
And a great guitarist, man. When I was getting into guitars...
he's a friend of Martin Scorsese because he was in that Rolling Stones documentary. He actually was he was a guest appearance on that singing Love and Cup. So
he was good in that, yeah.
Good voice.
As I said, I like to have a pop at the Stones, but I love the Stones as well. So he's good taste in music. But Stephen, man, what I was saying there as well, representation, I'll be brief with it. I don't want to get bogged down with this shit. Great to see Native Americans in here. In force, because it wouldn't have been that long ago you'd have had fucking David Carradine or something like that getting cast as a Native American, and it's like, no man, it's just, he ain't a Native American. So I'm so glad, coming off the back of your Taylor Sheridan, I think his name is Tyler Sheridan, that one with Jeremy Renner, and can't remember who else was in it before. Maybe Elizabeth Olsen.
It was, John. You reviewed it as well.
Yeah,
it was
I
a
did
good
review
film, yeah. It was,
it was a really good film.
Yep.
But for me, that was the first time I really seen that demographic getting widely cast in a big Hollywood movie. So I'm glad to see it. I mean, that's the key of the story.
You're absolutely right, John, because when you look back at like TV series and films round about the 80s and 90s, when they did cast Native Americans, it was always the older gentlemen.
Yeah.
Ones, you know, the ones that were probably hitting 80, 90 at the time, and they were very small roles. They were just to add to the background, really, to give it that sort of authenticity. But you're absolutely right, to have Native Americans in at the forefront playing big roles, I hope.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
the story is,
roles,
I mean, they're at the heart of it, aren't they? The corruption, stealing the land from sort of the reservations and stuff. I think there's oil under the land and stuff like that. That's kind of the heart of this story. So you'd be doing a disservice to the story by not bringing in people who have lived and breathed it, who are actually from that sort of ethnicity, if you like.
Yeah.
And look, they'll all be fucking great actors. I'm not going to sit and say I know these actors by heart. I don't. But by the end of this story, I'll be well versed. Which is always the case with Scorsese.
Yeah.
He gives you recurring faces, but really great up-and-coming faces too. Man, I like the cast, man. I'm looking forward to the movie. I says to you, and I says in the show as well, you combine that cast with the story and a New York Times best-selling novel it's adapted off of, and then you've got the sort of brilliance of that male trio, Leonardo DiCaprio, Scorsese and Bob De Niro in there. You're on for something fucking special, man. You really are. So I can't wait to see the movie, and I will do my absolute best to get in a theatre and watch it if it comes out in a theatre.
I'm going to check, John. I'm actually.
I was going to ask you something.
The composer, just to see it's Robbie Robertson. I'm not familiar with his work, but
he'll be known. He'll be
Wolf
known.
of Wall
Wolf
Street.
of Wall Street. Yeah,
the Irishman. So
he's worked with him before.
Soundtrack Beatles Get Back. He was one of the writers. Okay.
There you go.
How can you be a writer on that? But anyway,
they had to maybe, I don't know,
storyboard the whole thing.
Storyboard the thing, didn't they? Because there was a lot of hours in there.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question, Stephen.
Yeah.
We're getting dribs and drabs. Is that the right one? What the phrase? I'm terrible at these phrases. We're getting dribs and drabs. We're getting little tiny pieces of information droplets of information behind the rationale of why this movie's potentially been delayed. And one thing sprung to my mind the minute you sent it over to me, and that was Apple TV Plus have bought the rights to this, as I did say, Academy Award winning studio now with Coda. They're not in the same position as Netflix. They've got a greater foundation. $1 trillion company, Apple, knocking around that mark even now.
Yeah.
Hugely successful company, not going anywhere. They're not worrying about money. But do you think, and this which came to my mind right away, and I was going to ask you this question, do you think they've been shook, and do you think perhaps the other studios out there have been shook by what's happening at Netflix just now? Lost 1 million subscribers in their most recent earnings call, don't know what you'd even call it, I'm not into that sort of thing. The share release, financial accounts, they have to declare them in every quarter of the year, I think. 1 million subscribers lost. Really losing money, losing big shows. There's an article I'm going to bring up. I'm going to go off on a tangent with it because tangents are good. But they're losing subscribers, they're losing content. These guys not that long ago were seen as the kings of streaming. Netflix. Guys like Scorsese were going to them. Paul Greengrass going to Netflix. The Coen brothers going to Netflix. The Russos going to Netflix.
I don't think we'll see De Niro or Scorsese De Niro films.
He's probably done
at
them.
Netflix again. I don't think. I think that was the one and done. The Irishman. You're absolutely right. I think there is a bit a concern there. The difference between Apple and Netflix is that Netflix may have the most subscribers at the moment, the sort of fan base, if you like, the audience. But Apple do have the billions in the bank. But at the end of the day, it's got to be a business decision as well, John. They're there to make money. They're not there to do people favours. They want some money back on it.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the way for any big films, a Scorsese film, or if maybe a Chris Nolan doing a streaming, whatever, whoever, Spielberg. They'll want some kind of cinematic run. They'll want some, and the studio will want that as well. They'll want some kind of.
It's the most sensible way to approach it.
Come back, with finances. And I think it is as well. I think
Stephen, I was watching.
You give it a run for. I mean, you don't expect a Marvel film to be in the cinemas for 2 weeks and then it's pulled in and then it's on Disney Plus. They don't have to do that, and that's just the sad reality of it. Whether or not Scorsese is happy with that or not. I think he's a realistic man in terms of, you know, the way the business works, and he wants some money back. The studio definitely wants some money back in that. I don't think it does it any harm either to have a limited release in the cinemas for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. People that are really looking forward to it, like us, you know. I think this is a film I would want to see in the cinema, and I know you do as well, John, before it goes on to the streaming service. I mean, we missed out Doctor Strange. It's now on Disney Plus, but you don't have that urge to go and click that button and watch it on that as you would have if you had the chance. If you weren't ill, and you would have went and seen it in the cinema.
And in all fairness, I love Marvel movies. I spoke about them at length last night, but they're so numerous now.
Yeah.
That you just know you're going to get the chance to watch a movie, no matter what. Scorsese's a different beast. He's an event director. He doesn't release movies 5 times a year, 3 times a year. Yep. It's once every 3, 4, 5 years. So if you can get the chance to see this guy working and look, he's getting on in years, so the chances of collaborating with people like De Niro and DiCaprio are reducing every year.
Yeah.
If you get the chance to see that, it could be the last time you get to see this guy produce a movie with great actors.
Yeah.
You want to see it in the theatre. But Stephen, what you says is bang on with the theatrical release. This is why Scorsese's absolutely right to do it. It just makes financial sense to get this movie out in a theatre for even a limited run and make money front ended, and then you can put it on the streaming service, and people, if there's word of mouth, who haven't had the chance or maybe don't want to go to the theatre and see it, can then watch it in the theatre. Robert Meyer Burnett was speaking about this with Netflix, and he absolutely nailed it. Their strategy's all wrong. They're releasing movies like The Grey Man straight to streaming service.
Yeah,
no one knows anything about the movie outside the movie fans. They're not promoting it. It's fucking crazy, man. You've got Ryan Gosling in there, you've got Chris Evans in there, you've got Danush in there, you've got Ana de Armas in there, Billy Bob Thornton I think's in there.
Yep.
Brilliant cast, big action, blockbuster. It's not doing great on Rotten Tomatoes.
No.
But promote it, put it in a theatre. If you have to create a subsidiary studio name so it's not linked to Netflix.
The trailer only came out, I think, about a month before it's released.
It's crazy.
It's not good enough.
They're not promoting it. They're not giving it a chance, man.
And John, let's be honest, we only knew about the film because through the Danush connection. That's the only reason we knew about it. It wasn't because we were big followers of Ryan Gosling or Chris Evans, in the sense that we always keep tabs on every film that they do. Obviously, when they came out, we take an interest because of the names, but I think it was through the channel of we were watching some Danush films, and we were very intrigued to find out his upcoming projects, because we were very keen and we admired what he did previously. And you did say, John, the Russos as well. I mean, you're talking, you know, award-winning actors, award-winning directors as well. And putting it on a streaming platform without a theatrical run, no promotion. I
don't know if it has had a theatrical run, but it's not enough.
No.
They're not doing enough to promote their content.
Certainly
and that's
here
why
in
they're
Glasgow,
struggling.
John, it would have been a blink and miss it.
Oh, no chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
What is that all about?
He doesn't need to make movies every year. He doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's made his name. What's up with this clickbait accounts on YouTube? I see them absolutely everywhere. YouTube needs to do something about this.
Yeah.
We do. We see them everywhere, man. I know how to deal with it now. They just go.
Yeah.
It's a couple of clicks and they're gone. They'll be back. They'll be gone again.
They're very resilient, yeah.
Believe me, they are, yep.
It's normally, John, when you're doing the show yourselves, I can actually sit in the house and do the sort of admin and all that on it. The moderator, that's the word.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
It doesn't bother me, man. I don't give a
Netflix
shit.
to lose key shows.
Yeah, I just want to briefly touch on this.
Yeah.
Briefly, very briefly, what your thoughts are on this, Stephen, because this is big news just now. And obviously with the streaming wars and it all kind of linking into this story, they're all vying for eyeballs. These big studios, Disney have restructured their entire company to focus on streaming. You're seeing that with Marvel content. There's no real drop off in quality.
Yeah.
And it's all on Disney Plus. We're getting movies released, expedited home releases on Disney Plus. Doctor Strange is out in the theatres a month and a half, 2 months later it's on Disney Plus.
Yep.
Amazon are doing a Lord of the Rings TV show that's absolutely epic. Never did put that reaction out. They're going to be up there. They're $1 trillion company. Bezos and stuff like that. They're all fighting for eyeballs. Netflix are in trouble,
John
man.
made me watch a trailer about
House of Dragon.
Yeah,
didn't put it out.
And didn't put it out. It has to go out just for my sheer attendance on something I've got no clue on. It has to go out. I'm going to start a campaign.
You know what stopped me? It was the lack of views. It's like we're getting.
But
Like
I think
50
they will,
views.
John. I think those type of ones are the ones that surprise you rather
end
than
up
the
getting,
bloody
yeah.
Warner Brothers ones that are doing everything in
Yeah,
their
they
power
get
to block them.
copyright claims.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, I'm telling you.
Warner Brothers, more like brothers.
Learn from Disney. Disney just don't care, man. They see that the fan base.
Willy Wonka, more like Johnny.
It makes sense, doesn't it? Not? But the shows that are leaving, Stephen, I don't even know what shows it are. It's 10 shows. I'm pretty sure Breaking Bad's one because it's Fox. It's probably going to go to Disney Plus. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Is it Fox? I think it was. I don't know.
It's going to happen. I think it probably will be, John.
So
I
there
think-
you go. You've got Parks and Rec. You've got The Office. Going to NBC. You've got the likes of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, New Girl, NCIS, How to Get Away with Murder. They're going to Netflix. They're leaving Netflix in 2025.
Yeah.
They've basically got 3 years to really come
John.
up with some special original content.
Well, I have
'cause
to,
they're
because
goosed.
The funny thing about Netflix is that they had the pie to themselves for so long, you know, with the likes
Walking
of
Dead's gone as well.
the Marvel Daredevil and all that. And once, obviously, Apple, Disney, etc., Hulu, whatever you call them, you know, started having their own streaming platforms, they were starting to take their properties back off Netflix, and it's left them with not much. Funnily enough, John, I've been with Netflix since 2011, I think.
Yeah, you were OG.
And when they first came out, I don't know when they first came out, but it was all like films like RoboCop and Terminator, Total Recall, that kind of thing that was on. It was all once, and it was just good to go on and watch the old classic films. And then it came sort of a peak point, I think, was probably The Irishman. I think that was sort of the pinnacle of the streaming platform, and since then it's just went back down, and it seems
Well,
to
I mean,
be going back to the way it was.
They won an Oscar, didn't they, for Roma, Alfonso Cuarón?
That was the year before, wasn't
yeah, it was
it?
the year before, so yeah, they were really peaking at that point. But Stephen, they've always relied on their other content.
Yep.
I've never been onto Netflix, not really, to see original content. They've got a couple,
Yep.
but in the main it's to see Friends, it's to see Breaking Bad,
It's the old stuff, yeah.
it's to see all the stuff that they don't own.
Big
Better
Bang
Call
Theory,
Saul, Big
yeah.
Bang Theory, The Walking Dead, Mad Men, things like that. It's not their content.
Yeah.
So they've always been based on a really dodgy foundation in terms of people coming in to see content they don't own. And it was alright when the other studios weren't switched on to it. They were happy to lease the content out and get a small amount. Netflix creamed all the profit.
Yep.
Now they've all restructured. I think they're in trouble, man.
Yeah.
We knew Disney would eventually get their shit together in terms of streaming, and with Marvel and Star Wars and all this stuff they've got, it'd be ridiculous. They'd be making mega bucks because there's always going to be interest
Yeah.
in those franchises to some level. Amazon are a $1 trillion company. When Apple came in, we kind of joked about it, but as I said earlier, more highbrow. They're trying to attract different kinds of content. They're trying to become like a streaming service version of A24.
I think Netflix is going to become like that. Is it Flickster or something like that? Do you
Flickster,
remember that?
yeah.
I think it's going to end up like that. It's just going to be a distant memory.
Yeah, I
Just,
think they
just
will.
like Pav says, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Netflix, we will remember you. Maybe.
You've always
Yeah.
got these kind of things on Napster, and now no one thinks of Napster. It's Apple Music and Spotify,
Yeah. Yeah.
and maybe some of the other big ones. Fucking, I don't know. There's other ones, isn't there?
Amazon Music, yeah.
Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Then you've got the sort of like lossless companies. Use that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't use that, man. I mean, I've got Dolby Atmos.
I think it's
sound.
just evolution, isn't it? That's what
It is.
happens, you know.
It
And
happens.
Netflix might have been a trailblazer back in the day, but you know, I
Stephen.
think you know that everyone else is using that template and doing it better now. Simple as
It's
that.
like Facebook
Yeah.
and the ones that came before that.
MySpace, yeah.
MySpace.
Yeah.
They were there,
Yeah.
and now it's Twitter,
Yeah.
and now it's TikTok.
Certainly not Parler.
It's not Parler. Parler was really Trump, wasn't it?
Yep.
He get kicked off Twitter. And he thought, I'll go and create another, or I'll go to another social media site, and
Yeah. One that shares
Everyone
my
will-
views.
everyone will follow me. Well, they didn't.
I didn't know what it was, John. I actually signed us up for it, and then I went, "That's
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
mean,
shit."
it's just it's an alternative social media, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's really
Telegram
the-
seems to be the thing now.
Telegram's a messenger thing, isn't
I
it?
don't
That's
know. Never heard of it till about a week ago.
yeah. That's well, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't use any of it,
No.
so I'm not really on social media. I just
No.
stay away from it. I don't need it. I don't need the toxicity. I don't need the tribalism. I don't need the backstabbing, the bickering, the echo chambers. I can't be arsed with that magnifying glass being shined on the worst of humanity. Humanity are pricks anyway. We are. Agent Smith in The Matrix was bang on.
Well, John,
Or a cancer.
it's these platforms that give people like Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro's a little fucking squeaky voiced weasel. He speaks 200 miles an hour, and then he says some big fancy words as he speaks 200 miles an hour and thinks that makes him intelligent. It doesn't, mate.
Yeah.
You will be taken apart by
John, have you
someone.
ever heard of Jordan Peterson?
I have heard of Jordan Peterson, yes, he's a psychologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
A lot of people seem to hate the guy and say he's a neo-Nazi and
I
stuff.
think he's got
but,
a lot of right-wing views, hasn't he?
I think he's more a centrist.
Yeah, I
He's
think
a
so. Yeah.
centrist, but because he's not an extreme left-wing, then he's a right-wing.
Yeah.
It says some sensible things, but then there's some areas he goes to, you're like, no, Jordan,
Yeah.
no.
Sit down, son.
Sit down. You're going too far. He seems to like to demonise women a lot, which is not healthy in a society where you've got these little basement dwelling weirdos who hate the world and hate women because
And they'll
they're not
feed off
falling
that,
at their feet.
Yep.
Well, you need to go out and fucking earn it, bitch. Don't fucking sit there and woe betide. If you're a little what's-it eating bitch that doesn't leave the house, then nothing's going to fucking happen, and you've only got your own self to blame for it.
Yeah, that's it.
So he seems to like to feed into that.
Yeah.
But he does say there's some, I mean, I've laughed at some of his interviews, I'm not going to lie, where he takes apart a Channel 4 newsreader or something. He's
Yeah.
clearly a very intelligent man.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of these people who sits in an echo chamber. I'm willing to go out and explore other voices and hear what they've got to say. And if I don't like it, then I switch off.
So,
Plain and simple.
Yep.
But not Netflix, social media is a fucking parasite. It's a toxic hellhole. Anonymity. People saying what they want to say. And there's no payback. You would never say these things in the street. Never.
No.
He just thought, I'm a huge F1 fan. And they were getting after Max Verstappen. I'm not a huge Max Verstappen fan. I don't hate him. He's a great driver. It wasn't his fault it happened last year. But I'm not a huge fan of him. But there was the same thing happening with him. Anonymous trolls attacking him on social media. And he said the same thing. I don't really listen to it. I don't give them a platform. They wouldn't say it to my fucking face. And he's right.
It's true, yeah.
He's absolutely bang on. Parv says Netflix India also isn't in a good spot. Amazon Prime Video India has killed it this year with the announcements. Listen, that's the one thing I still go back to Netflix for is the foreign sort of content. Also, it's not foreign to you, Parv, but like say Korean and Indian content is brilliant on Netflix. We are watching Sacred Games on Netflix. We've had Triple R on Netflix. We've watched a lot of great content. Mirzapur, I think, maybe on Netflix, or is that Prime?
It's Prime, yeah.
Prime and Netflix really do hit the ball out the park with the Indian content. They give a platform. Ghee is a Scottish way of saying.
It's also
it's also a cooking product. Which I've never tried.
For Indian food, yeah.
I have never tried ghee.
It's butter,
I'm aware
isn't it?
of.
It's like fat, isn't it? Yeah, and oil.
I need to go in there.
Yeah.
I have to try the street food. I really, really do. I keep bringing them up, and I will forever bring up Praveen, or Paddy as I used to call him, from Andhra Pradesh. Good friend. He's like a brother from another mother. He used to regale me with pani puri and these little orange sweet Indian dishes that I think were fried off quickly, deep fried.
Parv also says, John, that Netflix brought it upon themselves. They got overconfident.
They did.
I think there was a point, wasn't there, where they were kind of rubbing a lot of people's noses in it of the success that they had. I think it might have been round about the time The Irishman hit the screens.
Could have been, yeah.
You know, that was a peak point. But
all good things come to an end, man.
yeah, all things must pass.
As long as I can still see the content that I want to see on another platform, I will dance on the grave of Netflix.
John. The likes of, I know Sacred Games is obviously finished. It was a 2 seasons and done thing, but other things that we've probably watched in the past, we watched some Korean stuff from Netflix as well.
Yeah,
All of Us
Suicide
Are
Squad,
Dead.
My Name.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, Squid Game.
They'll just find the Suicide Squads. They'll just find another platform to put these on anyway, because they're good quality content.
The only thing I would say is that when Netflix had a sort of, what do you call it, monopoly on it, you were getting all of that at one price point.
Yeah.
If they do disappear, and you've got 4 or 5 other studios with the content, then you're paying 4 or 5 times the price for the same content. Thankfully, I also subscribe to Sky over here, and they give you some of that in-house part of the package. So I think we're getting HBO Max on that.
I really do hate about Netflix is when they're putting films on that maybe part 1, 2 and 3 of a story, and they'll put like Simon Raimi's Spider-Man was on maybe about 3 months ago, And they had Spider-Man,
Full Spider-Man.
the first film, and they had the third film. They didn't have the second film. That does
It's the
my
best
head in
fucking film.
that.
It's the best
I
one.
hate when they do that.
Yeah, that's terrible. I think we're
Yeah.
getting them on Disney Plus now.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think I'm slowly
coming.
getting there.
Yeah.
Still no Incredible Hulk though.
I was speaking about the Incredible Hulk
Yeah.
last night, Stephen. The Hulk fucking Wars or something.
Yeah.
There's 6 unnamed Marvel projects still to be revealed through to 2026. One of them was a Hulk movie. I'm intrigued. Do you think we'll get a Hulk movie? Because I don't.
Well, I can't see it. If they were going to do it, they'd have done it by now.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Unless they regress him from Smart Hulk back to the Hulk we love.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's something that will happen in She-Hulk. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think that's the place for it.
We've got a
Light-hearted.
Smart Hulk and She-Hulk now, so
And She-Hulk looks great.
yeah.
Has to be said.
Yeah, I'm going to
From
watch
the
that.
Marvel content that was revealed
Yep.
in actual trailers, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever and She-Hulk were the 2 standouts for me.
Yep.
I never thought I'd enjoy She-Hulk that much. It looks fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Really funny. Dynamic between those 2 looks great. And it's some sort of legal thing going on, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Daredevil as well. But look, man, that's going to round it up.
Yeah.
We're talking and we're talking and we're talking. We're not really going anywhere.
No.
A lot of tangents, a lot of gibbering from me, and that's dangerous at this time. So, and I can feel my voice starting to go. My throat's very dry despite drinking. The water is actually drying my throat out. I don't know how that works. Maybe some experimental theoretical physicist can fucking explain that to me. How H2O with ice in it dries your throat out. Is it not meant to do the opposite? Solo Hulk movies don't work. I don't know why, but they just don't. Well, I mean, I didn't see the Eric Bana one, but I did see the
Ang Lee, yeah.
I did see
Yeah.
the Edward Norton one, and I actually
Yeah.
quite liked that.
Yeah, but
But
how many times can you do that, John? It's
You
it's
can't.
that whole
No.
origin thing again, isn't it? And it's interesting enough to do it in one movie, but keep doing it, it just gets
Yeah, you
really
have to.
stale. Yeah.
That's why I enjoyed what the Marvel Cinematic Universe did with Hulk and Mark Ruffalo's Hulk.
Yeah.
It gave us a story over 3 movies. Ragnarok was pure Hulk goodness. Infinity War was Hulk getting slapped about with a guy, big purple guy, i.e. Thanos, who was clearly well trained in martial arts. Whipped him about like a bin bag in the wind.
I do believe.
He was trained in martial arts. And obviously Bruce Banner comes out, and then at the end we get Smart Hulk. It's a combination of the 2. So I like the way they explored that personally. Oh, you're an alien. How does water make your throat dry? We're all aliens, Path. We'll not get down that road.
Yeah.
I believe we're all aliens. I believe that aliens came from another solar system, have seeded life here. Why do we burn? Why do we burn, man? Why have we not just became one with Sol, i.e. the sun in our planetary system? Why do we burn, man? We shouldn't be burning. We should have sprouted up in this ecosystem on Earth, and we should be at one with the sun.
We
It
are.
shouldn't be burning us.
We are, but it's in the year 5000. We're not there yet. We're still evolving. We'll get there.
And all of these ancient civilizations had a real love for Sirius. Look, I'm not going to go down this route. I've got a love for Sirius as well. I actually pick it out. Coming up to this time of the year, you start seeing Orion's belt slipping down. You see Sirius. It's great. Love it. Don't like my work at this time of the year, but I love seeing Orion's belt. Sirius, Rigel, I think it is, Regal, and Beetlejuice. But anyway, on that note, we're going to round it up. I took a photograph, Stephen. Did you see it? I put it on social media. Funny
I
enough.
seem to recall, yeah.
It was that fucking good, the exposure. You could see the... I don't know what it's called. There's a name for it. Nursery. Star sort of nursery. Stellar dust. There's like a thing down from Orion's belt. You could see it. But anyway, that's going to round it up, man. I am not an astrophysicist. I do not know the finer details, the minutiae, the terms. Nebula. I've seen the nebula.
Yeah.
Orion's Nebula. But look, man, that's going to round it up. What's your thoughts on The Killers of the Flower Moon? Martin Scorsese's next big blockbuster movie, with Bob De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio, getting delayed. It seems deadline are reporting it's going to be delayed till next year, 2023. Not long to go anyway. Potentially over it getting a wide release in a theatre, or potentially not. Scorsese's putting his little feet down. He's very small. Seen a photo of him next to Bob De Niro on the Taxi Driver. He's teeny. Fucking hell. Teeny tiny. Comment down below if you've got anything to say down below in the comment section about that, about anything you feel compelled to share. You can also like the video on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. The same thing over in Twitch. Follow, notifications button, hit the notifications bell on YouTube as well. To see us live, to see watch along reactions, short reactions, reviews, the full shebang. Do that, and that's how you enable it. Regards to what you do though, thank you very much for watching us on this fucking dribble fest. And until the next time, me and Steve are done. Bye bye. I'm going to end by reading Parv's final comment. Incidentally, Parv, thank you for coming in and commenting in a sea of porn spam. We appreciate you tremendously, Parv. Either the aliens are way advanced than us, or they are still in the Stone Age. Both ideas are equally terrifying. I mean, if they're way advanced than us, then they'll come and wipe us out in the blink of an eye. I like to view aliens as us looking at primates in a zoo. They're intrigued, but they don't really care. And on that note, we're going to end by getting naked HD XYZ again. Bye.